Ain't so much fun when the rabbit got the gun, Johnson. Rabbit's like, pow! So this whole thing that's going on with Wall Street is amazing. And some people are really winning big. They're winning big. And you know, of course, when I say people are winning big, I'm not talking about corporations, I mean people. Because you know, in this country, we like to make corporations into people. So when I say the people are winning big, this is great. And for some reason, this is also bad. Because Wall Street doesn't want the people to win. See, Wall Street's set up like a casino. And we all know what happens in a casino, right? The house always wins. Last thing they want is you and I getting a little bit of that scratch. Wall Street Bets is a Reddit subreddit. Regular folks got together and they started looking at the market and said, hey, what if we got in on the action? What if we took our little bit of coins together and we start, you know, doing a little something.
Like GameStop and AMC. Joining us now in a first on CNBC interview, Interactive Brokers Chairman and Founder Thomas Peterffy. Thomas, thank you for joining us. It's great to have you on a day like today to help clarify what is going on. So explain to us, to our audience, why you have decided, like Robinhood, to restrict trading in shares of these companies like GameStop and AMC.
Well, I think that lead wasn't exactly the lead we should have. I think we should explain a little bit more about what happened. I wanted to keep it brief on the dialogue, but let me put it this way. So Wall Street Bets, the subreddit, told people to go out and buy some stocks, right? Like they trade information, and none of them have inside information, but they were just looking at stocks that were being shortlisted. And we'll get into a little bit more about what shortlisted is, but let's just say shortlisting is the way that they screw companies. And they're betting on those companies to fail or to lose value in their stock, and they get to make money on the difference. Some of the stocks were GameStop. You may have heard of GameStop. My son, when he was really into video games, that's where I would take him to buy his video stuff, little joint in strip mall. We could also bring stuff back and sell it. You could buy used video game materials, video games. I remember I got him Crash Bandicoot, man. He loved Crash Bandicoot, man. In fact, we played Crash Bandicoot as a family, man. And then, I remember I got Mortal Kombat from that joint. Hold up, what games did I get him? Those are games I played. Anyway. Tomb Raider. Anyway. So GameStop was one of them. And what's happened was people stopped buying GameStop because they said, screw these brokers trying to take down GameStop. And they did really well. And what I've been hearing is that there are people made a lot of money off this GameStop stock. This GameStop stock went through the roof, man. We're talking about people who bought it like $10 and it doubled, it went up like 300%. Okay, that's what happened. A stock that was worth $10 is now worth, I don't know, $300 or I don't know. We'll get into the numbers later. They're short on the screen, but needless to say, there were people who made a lot of money. And there are people who lost a lot of money, which is something I didn't really understand how that was all working. Okay, how this is all going down, but this is what's happening. The Wall Street guys were getting screwed because regular people were buying. Regular people were buying and they were giving it back to the man, giving it back to Wall Street. So it was GameStop and also AMC. Same thing going on with AMC, but GameStop was really, really torpedoed. So in a reaction to this, they decided to halt purchases of GameStop and AMC. Also, BlackBerry stocks are doing the same thing with BlackBerry. Because this is not, so here's the thing, guys. This is not isolated. This could happen with any stock where they're brokers are short listing the stock, the people can band together and screw them. That's right. The people can band together and screw them for a change. What did I tell you? Ain't so much fun when the rabbit got the gun, Johnson. Well, it's fun for the rabbit, says one of my friends on Twitter. Rabbit's like, pow, pow. So, all right, now that you understand what happened, these sneaky snakes, right, they suspended our ability to buy more of GameStop, BlackBerry, and AMC because, well, they couldn't cover it. Yeah, we took the house to the cleaners, Johnson. All these bastards making all this money, hand over fist, trying to bankrupt GameStop. Well, they were getting screwed because they got to cover their losses. Now they got losses, and we're talking losses into the billions. I think 10 billion was what one of the numbers that were quoted. So anyway, now we're up to speed. Now we can go to the clip. Watch this fossil try to explain why it's okay that they shut off the money faucet just when the people were getting a little taste.
Like GameStop and AMC. Joining us now in a first on CNBC interview, Interactive Brokers Chairman and Founder Thomas Peterffy. Thomas, thank you for joining us. It's great to have you on a day like today to help clarify what is going on. So explain to us, to our audience, why you have decided, like Robinhood, to restrict trading in shares of these companies like GameStop and AMC.
So simply put, we are worried about the integrity of the marketplace and the clearing system. This is a new scenario in which fundamental values do not matter. Stocks that are worth single-digit dollars go to several $100s. For example, Game today jumped up and down hundreds of dollars at a time. We are concerned about the ability of the market and the clearing systems to withdraw the onslaught of orders, to continue to provide liquidity, and we are concerned about the financial viability of intermediaries and the clearinghouses. Now, I hope that your audience can follow this. For every option trade, there's a buyer and a seller. There are as many long options as there are short options. So when the stock moves either way, some options make money on one side, and the other side they lose money. The broker stands between his customers and the clearinghouse. So when some option holders make money, the clearinghouse has to give us the money to give it to our customers, while other option holder sellers or buyers on their own side lose money. We have to collect money from them and give it to the clearinghouse. If our customers are unable to pay for their losses, we have to put up our own money. Now, luckily enough, we have $9 billion of equity, so we don't have a problem. And we also have a very well automated risk management system, so we haven't really gotten hurt. However, I cannot say the same thing with full confidence about other brokers. I really don't know where they stand, so I'm extremely concerned. As Game moved from $17 to $500, there are roughly 3 million contracts outstanding in the options market. If one of those options is worth, say, an average option I estimate worth about $10,000 now, so that is a loss of roughly $10 to $15 billion on the one side and $10 to $15 billion of gain on the other. I'm afraid that there may be brokers who may not be able to meet these margin calls. So that is the...
So just to be clear, you're worried about the middlemen. Are you doing this move to protect yourself or to protect your customers?
Partly to protect ourselves, but mostly to protect, of course, to protect our customers, but most of all to protect the marketplace, to protect the clearinghouse. So if there are $10 to $15 billion of losses in there, somebody has to pay them. Will they be able to pay it? It's the big question.
Thomas, do you understand people's anger, your customers' anger, given that essentially you changed the rules of the game right in the middle of the match, at the most important moment in the match, even if your terms and conditions allow you to do that? Do you understand their anger that you changed the terms of trade for them just as things were getting heated up?
I do, but when you say right in the middle of the game, then you're saying as the squeeze is going on, stronger and stronger. But that's illegal. That's manipulative. So it cannot be done.
So do you think...
Also, I think, somewhat responsible for what our customers are doing.
So this scumbag, this guy from Interactive Brokers, this chairman, what he's saying is basically that they don't have enough money, or they don't think that these brokers, these middlemen, will have enough money to cover the losses that they're going to be impacted by. Maybe they got money, but they only have money on paper. They don't actually have money. As Dallas Taylor said, a liquidity problem. You know, Tim Black has had a liquidity problem from time to time in his life. I know a lot about not having liquidity. I'd be parched. But anyway, not enough about me. Here's the thing, guys. We don't care about your problems, old white guy. No, we don't care about your problems. Show us the money. And don't lie to us telling you, talking about you guys suspended trading once trading suspended, or you can sell but you can't buy. And that's because they want to protect themselves. It's not to protect buyers. You're not protecting us as customers. You're protecting the middlemen, the people that always make the money. And make no mistake about this, guys. He says they're manipulating. It may be illegal for us to manipulate the market. No, they manipulate the markets all the time when they short sell or short list company after company, putting them out of business and laughing their asses off as businesses crumble. See, up till now, it's all good, because they've had the gun, and now the rabbit got the gun. And now they want to scream foul. And that's what they always do. And so when the tables get turned and the people that aren't supposed to make money start making money, now it's a problem. We now need to go back over how things are being done. What is this? Something's wrong here. Yeah, we're winning. We're winning. That's what's wrong. We're not supposed to win. Poor people are starting to make money. And that ain't supposed to happen in America. That's not supposed to happen. That's against the rules. It's against the natural order of things. Now everybody take a beat, take a pause. If you're lost in the sauce, it's like, what is going on, Tim? I don't understand this. I don't buy stocks. Hey, I bought my first stock today. So we're in the same boat. But if you really want to understand what's going on, I have a little guide that I found from a friend on Facebook. In this post, he explains, and I know it's a he because I thanked him. I'm going to have to let him shout himself out. I can't remember his name right now. I'm sorry. I know at least one of my followers doesn't quite understand what's happening in the stock market right now, and that's enough to motivate me to explain this, because this is somewhat of a turning point in world history. First, you need to understand what a short is in trading. A short is when you borrow a stock from a broker, this is important, and sell it immediately at its current price. Then you hope the stock's price falls such that you can buy the stock back at a lower price and return the shares you borrowed to your broker, but keep the difference. So, example, let's say I want to short XYZ, which has a current price of $10. I borrow one share and I sell it at $10. I have $10 now, but I owe my broker the one share I borrowed. Then let's say the price of XYZ drops to $7. I now decide to cover or buy back my short position and buy one share at $7. And I return the borrowed share to my broker. I made $10 when I sold and only had to pay $7 to buy it back lower. So my profit is $3. That's the difference. But now check this out. But now let's say that instead of XYZ price dropping to $7, it goes up to $15. I still need to return the one borrowed share to the broker. Except now, it's going to cost me a lot more to buy back. If I buy back at 15 so I can return the borrowed shares, my losses will be the $5 difference between selling at 10 and rebuying at 15. Since the price can rise indefinitely, my potential losses as a short seller are unlimited. At some point, I have to buy it back to return the shares I borrowed. The more the price rises, the bigger my losses. Now for GameStop. A few weeks ago, a Redditor on our Wall Street Bets noticed that a hedge fund had taken a massive amount of short trades against GameStop. They convinced everyone on the thread to join forces and buy as much GameStop stock as possible. This made the price rise and the hedge fund short position started to lose billions. Billions. Their losses even surpassed the $13.1 billion that the hedge fund was worth. Eventually, the hedge fund had to close their short positions and buy all the GameStop stock back at much, much higher prices, sending the price even higher still. This is called a short squeeze. Now the hedge fund is declaring bankruptcy, and the Reddit thread is combing through other hedge funds with massive short exposure so they can short squeeze them into bankruptcy as well. All of Wall Street is saying that the public joining together in this fashion should be illegal. But really, they just lost at their own game to the masses. So there's been a lot of reaction to what's been happening here across the internet, across platforms. And this is something else, guys. It's amazing what's going on. I'm seeing unity in a way that I haven't seen unity before. Yeah, man, I thought we were such a divided country, but similar to Bernie Sanders with his mittens, it's really brought us together. This opportunity where poor people and moderate income people or people with a couple bucks laying around can now trade together and impact and screw the hedge fund investors who screw over companies and by extension screw over us, because who works at these places like GameStop and AMC? We do. So they get to screw us all the time, but now we get to come together. And this is a unifying moment. We're coming together to screw the big guys. We're coming together to screw the scumbags who siphon money from doing nothing except playing with money, moving money around. They don't have real jobs, Johnson. They're not sitting up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 hours editing videos, or they're not driving buses or working at retail or moving boxes or delivering food or out working on a site, a work site, a construction site, or cleaning someone's toilet, fix under the hood of someone's car. They're sitting on their gelatinous asses and just hitting buttons on a keyboard, watching the money come in while they screw over the people that are working in the world, that are actually getting their hands dirty. So anyway, they stopped us from being able to buy, right? And that's in itself has been some bullshit, because we should be able to buy. You shouldn't be able to stop us from buying because now your money getting tight.
First of all of this nonsense, all of this noise, all of this whining by Wall Street, it's making me sick. 140% of GameStop was short. I didn't hear one person on TV complaining about Wall Street trying to crush GameStop. I have a kid who bought a house. He made $50,000 and bought a house. So yeah, some people are going to lose and some are going to win. But if they want to change the rules of the game now because the general public is making money after decades of the shorts crushing thousands of stocks into the dirt. The shorts have had their way with the market for decades. No one's ever complained about it. So I am thrilled. If you are going to try to destroy a company by shorting 140% of its stock, you have to accept the fact that individual investors are playing the same game that you're playing, and now you're losing.
That was Charles Payne from Fox News Business. And I never expected myself to clap on him, to clap after he spoke, but hey, man, it is what it is. That's what I'm saying. This thing really brings us together. Nothing brings us together like seeing the little guy get a little bit back. You know what I'm saying? Look, I don't follow this stuff. So anything I'm saying, like, you know, I don't give advice on what to buy or anything. Shout out to Wall Street Bets. Seriously, shout out to Wall Street Bets and shout out to anybody taking a chance on this. Remember, never spend more than you can afford to lose, please, guys, because the market ain't gonna take this lightly. These hedge funds, these people, who knows what they're gonna do to try to shut it down, what they're gonna do. So I wouldn't want anybody to get hosed. You know what I'm saying? Don't get hosed. So be careful, man. That's all I'm saying. Oh, one last point. Some of these hedge funds, these big, whatever you call them, they're going to take a big hit. They may not be able to cover this. You heard the first guy, he was saying that some folks might have to file bankruptcy, right? So I wonder if Joe Biden's going to bail them out. Yeah, let's see what's going to happen. Joe's going to bail them out. Now, the American people couldn't get a bailout even with a pandemic. Instead of getting $2,000, you gave us $1,400 because and said, well, that's going to have to be enough. Any more than that is just crazy talk. But now we got Wall Street looking like they're looking with their pockets turned out, with their hat in hand, talking about they're bankrupt. So we're going to see if Joe Biden suddenly finds the money that he couldn't give us if he's going to have the money to give to Wall Street. What I think they should have to do is sell their desks and their phones and their fucking computers and their three-piece suits, their $1,000, $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 suits, sell their fucking Rolexes, sell their Armani, their Gucci and their Prada and their Louboutins, all that shit. Sell it all. Get rid of the private jets, the mahogany desks, the chromed out whatever, and the gold seats or whatever you got going on. Trade in your cocaine pot money or whatever you got going on, what's happening back there. Liquidate all of it and get us our money, motherfucker. And I don't much care if you cry. Okay. That felt good, Johnson. That felt good. Let me ask you something. Do they know us? When I say they, I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe.